Alright, so a while back, Redmi launched the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus, which, although is a great device, does have some flaws. Now, the biggest flaw in that device is the Snapdragon 695 processor. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad processor, it's just that it does not really live up to the price tag and the kind of expectations that you have from this device. And a lot of folks, including me, felt that it would have been better if this device just came with a bit more powerful processor. That's exactly what the Xiaomi 11i is. A more powerful processor than the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus. But the question is, should you as a consumer be spending those extra 4,000 on the Xiaomi 11i, or is the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus good enough for you? Well, that's what this video is all about. This is Varun from GTR and you're watching my in-depth comparison of the Xiaomi 11i with the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus. Let's get started. Alright, so first things first, let's start by talking about the design here. Now, they both have a glass back and a flat edge design, and to be honest, it's basically the same phone. I mean, yes, the camera module is a bit more fatter on the Xiaomi 11i, but that's about it. They both have a matte finish that combats fingerprint smudges well. Neither is fully resistant but hold up fairly well thanks to their matte finish. Now, of course, the Xiaomi 11i has a more professional look to it, while the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus has a more flashier, comparatively flashier look to it. So I'll let you guys decide which one you like. Now on paper, the Xiaomi 11i is supposedly heavier by about 5 grams, but in hand they both feel literally the same, so no complaints there. I mean, they're both IP53 rated. Like I said, the design is subjective, so make a pick on what kind of a back you like. In terms of connectivity, you get a hybrid dual SIM card slot, plus a 3.5 headphone jack, plus an IR blaster on both the devices, and they both have support for 5G bands, so that's good. Now next up, let's move on to the displays, and that is where one big difference happens. Well, although it's hardware related, it's not entirely hardware related. Well, at least not the display hardware related. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So on paper, they both have a 6.6-inch 120Hz AMOLED panel with Gorilla Glass eye protection, with both the displays offering 1200 nits of peak brightness. Now they're both wideband L1 supported, and like I said, they both have Gorilla Glass protection, and content consumption works fine on both for the most part. And that's basically where the difference lies. See, although the display is the same, the processor is different. And the processor is what allows the Xiaomi 11i to have support for HDR content in YouTube as well as for Netflix. The Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus, as long as of a name it has, does not have the feature set for it, because forget HDR support, this thing can't even play 2K videos in YouTube. So that is a big bummer. Now, of course, the display is aided by the speaker quality and you get stereo speakers on both, which are equally good, so no complaints there. Next up, let's talk about the cameras, and once again, it's the same camera setup, like literally the same camera setup on both the phones. However, obviously there will be some sort of differences to note thanks to the ISPs on the devices. So let's take a look. Now in daylight shots, both the phones are pretty much the same. I would say that the Xiaomi 11i has a bit of a warmer color tone, while Redmi has more contrasty shots. And they're both equally detailed and both look very good. I would say that HDR here works a bit better on the Redmi as compared to the 11i. Other than that, selfies are equally good and detailed on both the devices. Colors are a bit better on Redmi, but it depends on what kind of a color profile you like. Now for low light shots, the 11i is much better. Now, to be honest, both the images have noise, but the 11i is better in comparison. Alright, so we're recording 1080p 30 FPS footage from the Xiaomi 11i, which is on my left, and the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus, which is on my right side. Now the one thing to note is that the Redmi Note 11 only supports 1080p 30 FPS recording, while the Xiaomi 11i supports 1080p 60 as well as 4K 30. So that's one advantage that the 11i has. Now I'm briskly walking right now, not running, but you can get an idea of the stability here. The Xiaomi 11i does have a better stability overall. It's not to say that the Redmi isn't doing a decent job, but definitely Xiaomi 11i has the advantage here. Also in terms of HDR, take a look here. Both are pretty well matched, not a significant difference. But yeah, I mean, if I had to choose, I would definitely pick the Xiaomi 11i. Alright, so we're recording 1080p 30 FPS selfie footage from the Xiaomi 11i, which is on my left, and the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus, which is on my right side. Now, while they are both capped at 1080p footage, the 11i does support 60 FPS recording, while the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus only supports 30 FPS, so there's that. In terms of face cropping for the EIS stability, I think they're both equally good, although I do feel that the Redmi device, which is on my right, is cropping a little bit more, but not by a massive margin. In terms of colors and everything, I'll let you guys be the judge. Of course, I'll take a look at it when I go back to my desk. But right now, just by judging from the displays here, there's not a moment of peace in this country. But yeah, right now, just by looking at the viewfinder or the displays, I think the 11i's footage does look a bit better. Alright, so moving along, let's talk about the performance now, which is obviously what a lot of folks are concerned about. The Xiaomi 11i comes with a Dimensity 920 processor with UFS 2.2 storage, while the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus comes with a Snapdragon 695 processor with UFS 2.2 storage. Now the benchmarks are on your screen and you can easily notice how much of a massive difference there is between the two devices. I mean, the Xiaomi 11i easily outsmarts and outshines the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus. Titles like BGM and Call of Duty also run not only better but also support higher settings on the Xiaomi 11i, while the performance is kind of mediocre on the Redmi device. Now, while day-to-day performance is pretty much the same on both the phones, it's no doubt that the Xiaomi 11i offers much better performance if you're a performance enthusiast. Of course, performance is aided by the software part and they both come with MIUI 13, but they are both based on Android 11. Now, I'm not going to delve a lot into the details here. MIUI 13 is, if you like MIUI, you will love MIUI 13. And like literally, MIUI 13 is one of the most polished, smoothest versions of that ROM that I've tested so far. So that's good. It's a bummer that it still comes with Android 11. I mean, both these devices should have come with MIUI based on Android 12. It doesn't, and that's a shame. Another thing that's a shame, which was also highlighted in one of our previous videos by one of you guys, something that I've been annoyed with a lot of times is the fact that MIUI does not let you use gesture navigation when you use third-party launchers. I mean, they literally just disable gesture navigation options and just force the user to use the navigation buttons. That is honestly so annoying. Like, seriously, Xiaomi, it's high time that you fix that. And lastly, we have the battery life, and apart from a couple of 100 mAh more on the Xiaomi 11i, battery backup is pretty much the same on both. The charging speeds are the same, and honestly, it's hardly a difference of 10-15 minutes, so I won't really dwell much in details about it. So then we have the pricing. Now you can see the prices for both the devices and their different variants on your screen right now, and more or less, it's a price gap of Rs 4,000 between the two. And for that 4,000, you get a better display. Well, the same display, but support for more HDR content and better higher resolutions, and you get more performance. And if those things matter to you, well, I would strongly suggest spending 4,000 more. If not, it's not like the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus is a bad device or anything. Yes, certainly it feels like not that much of an upgrade if you compare it with the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. But then you have to keep in mind that that was a 4G device, this is a 5G device, and with 5G, you have to compromise on certain factors. And to be honest, it's not entirely Xiaomi's fault. Chip manufacturers are forcing 5G on the chipsets, which basically forces smartphone manufacturers to either compromise on certain features or raise their price tags. So yeah, in fact, we're working on a deep dive video on the same, and let me know down in the comments below if you would like to see our video on what is the issue around Snapdragon 695 and all of these 5G processors. And well, that was it. If you found this video helpful, make sure to let us know by pressing a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more awesome tech content. Till then, this is Ram from GTR, and I'll see you in the next one.